Uh, what? We're doing this again? Uh, okay then. Well, hey everyone. Welcome to the G1 Features Podcast, episode 25. It's been a while.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, it's been a couple months. It's been, off the air for a while, or off the internet, actually. We aren't, a TV series, but, yeah, we're back.
We are still alive.
Yeah, yeah, in all seriousness, there's been a bit of, like, we recorded an episode 25, like, all the way back at the end of July, I think.
That
And
sounds
then,
about right.
that sounds about right, and then, what unfortunately happened is I went on vacation, afterwards, and no internet I had was good enough at that point to upload it, and by the time that it was incredibly outdated.
Yup.
So then I was just like, yeah, you know what? Maybe not a good thing to upload this, because everyone just would listen to it would just be like, what are they talking about? That happened months ago. And I mean, shit, we missed a heck of a lot of stuff. Like, we missed pretty much all the hubbub surrounding No Man's Sky. All of it.
And there
Like,
was so much hubbub.
I know, the hubbubbing was crazy, and we just missed all of it. That's, like, that's to show just how long we've been off, we haven't done this. And then, scheduling, life, and all of that stuff, just, caused us to, it took a little longer than expected to make the new episode. But hey, we're here now, and we're ready to do this, and I'm in for a good time. And are you, Gear?
I'm ready to party. The weather's awesome. I'm wearing pajamas and a really awesome jacket. I got in a new headset because my last one broke, which is one of the many reasons that it took so long for us to get going again. But hey, let's do this, because things happened in the world of video games.
Things happen indeed, but yeah, before we go into all the new stuff and all of that, so just, how have you been in the past couple months? How's life treated you?
I've had a couple ups and downs. One big up is I got engaged. That's fun.
Shit, man, congrats.
I mean, you know this, but
I knew this beforehand before it even actually happened, but still, it's just like, damn, that is quite the big step, and I'm happy for you and Kristen.
Well, thank you very much.
I mean, it it would be weird if I said, God, why did you do this?
Yeah, right.
I mean, that would just make me an asshole. And but anyway, yeah. Besides that, obviously, yeah, that's like really, really big up.
Yup.
And besides that, been playing anything recently? Watched anything or whatnot?
Oh yeah, loads of stuff. I got Journey was in.
Don't stop believing.
Yes, but not that one.
Ah, okay.
Journey was in PlayStation Plus this month, so I've played some of it.
Okay, it's not that long. It's not that long
Yeah.
of a game, so you can probably beat it in an afternoon.
Yeah,
well,
I just
this wrong word.
I needed to start cooking, so I had to stop it. But I'm gonna get back to it probably later. I've been playing some Dragon Age Inquisition, Monster Hunter Generations.
Oh wait, how are you liking Dragon Age Inquisition?
It's not as good as Witcher 3, I can tell you that much.
Oh, okay, so we're going to Witcher 3 with that. But I'm just asking because have you had any experience with the Dragon Age games before this?
I played a bunch of Dragon Age Origins, but I haven't played Dragon Age 2.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, what are your how much have you played of it, and what are your overall thoughts on it? Besides, it's not as good as Witcher 3, which very few games are.
Yeah. It's mechanically speaking, it's just a very standard RPG, which kind of disappoints me. It's very just sort of, oh look, you can cast Fireball and use Power Attack if you're a fighter. There's not a lot mechanically. There's not a lot to it. I like the sort of management style stuff of like, oh, the Inquisition needs this, so go ahead and gather resources, and oh, you need to talk to these people and convince them to give you horses and weapons and all that stuff. See, that's the part of Dragon Age Inquisition I actually like. But they're like, closing the rifts is so tedious, and going through the hinterlands took forever.
Yeah, I was amazed how huge Dragon Age Inquisition was when I played it. Like, it was essentially my game of the year of 2014 when it came out. Because, it absorbed me, really. Because I was, BioWare had been on a bit of a low, after Dragon Age 2 and Mass Effect 3. And it felt like a nice return to form, for them. And I played 90 hours of it. So, yeah, I do really like that game. But I understand if you have some issues with it, in terms of it being kind of standard. And since then, there have been some really good RPGs.
Yeah, like The Witcher 3.
Yeah, but, before we go to that game, how far are you and what, race are you playing?
I'm Dalish, I think they're called, the Wood Elf.
The elf, yeah. Just be an elf.
Yeah. I'm an elf mage.
So pretty much soulless, but,
yeah, but not as much of an asshole as Solus.
Solus is kind of a jerk, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten very far in the game, but I've read some stuff about Solus, and it's just like, wow, you massive racist.
To be fair, the whole kingdom is racist towards elves.
No, Solus is racist towards Kunari.
I was a Kunari, and he was fine with me. So I don't know, that, I mean, he's kind of just a prick, but he was never racist to my character. But, besides Dragon Age Inquisition, what else did you play? Because, of course, you mentioned Witcher 3.
Yeah, I've been playing a bit of that. I got a better processor a while ago, so I can actually run it now. The joys of PC gaming.
I could have already played it with my PS4, so,
I've played about 7 hours of Witcher 3 so far. So, not very far.
Have you played any of the other Witcher games?
Nope.
It feels very unwelcoming to those that haven't played the previous games.
I mean, there's some things that I just don't really have the context for, but I haven't really struggled with it all that much. There's a bit where it asks you, just look, you haven't played any of the other Witcher games, so here's a couple of questions
related to those events
to determine what you would have done in those situations. Just
did you kill this guy or not?
Yeah, it's just good question. Who is he?
Yeah, that is. You miss a lot of context if But for the rest, it's a very, very impressive RPG.
It's real good.
Yeah.
So well designed. Really interesting characters, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
Just I just love that even the tiniest side quests can just go into a mini adventure of just oh no, my carriage got turned over by some bandits. Please go kill them and help me. And then instead you find tracks, and it turns out that the guy is lying and he's with the resistance, and it's so cool.
Yeah, there's so many side quests in that game that go in such a different direction that you don't expect, and you're like, wait, what? No, I did not want this. But that's the harshness of The Witcher. It's a really, really great game. So I'm glad that you get to experience it now.
Mm-hmm.
And anything else, or
Monster Hunter Generations? I bought it at launch. And I didn't really play much of it because I had a really big gash on my thumb, so I couldn't use the 3DS properly.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, no, that's just my skin hating me forever. But I've been playing it recently, within the past couple days, and it's so good to get back to Monster Hunter after a long time.
It's good that you enjoy it.
Oh, it's so good. You have no idea.
I'm just not a fan.
No, which is unfortunate, because this is, I think, the most approachable the Monster Hunter games have ever been. The crafting system is so much simpler now, which is kind of a relief, to be honest.
Yeah.
Especially early game, the crafting system is just not a headache anymore, because instead of needing you need 12 iron for this, 12 is a bit much, but it's just you need an amount of mineral, just of a mineral, and each mineral is worth a different amount of points towards that, And the more common a mineral is, the fewer points it's worth. So, like, iron is worth, like, 1 point, and to upgrade a steel weapon, you have to have, like, 4 points of mineral. And so you can either spend 2 iron, or you can either spend, like, 4 iron, or, like, 2 earth crystals, or... You know, it's a lot more flexible.
Okay.
I imagine for some of the higher level gear, you still need, like, oh, get this incredibly rare drop from this super difficult monster because fuck you, and you need, like, 3 of them. But that's Monster Hunter.
Yeah. It's just not for me. I've tried. I've really, really tried, but it's just not a game series for me, and yeah. I'm glad it's for you. I'm glad that you are really enjoying it. In terms of games that I've been playing, I played and beat JSX Mankind Divided.
All right.
Yeah, that's a really, really good game. Like,
I've heard mostly good things about it, yeah.
Yeah, there is some complaints to be added. It ends pretty abruptly. You see some, and yeah, especially when you hear the stuff that Jim Sterling has said regarding, that this game was very much split up, that they're working on it. They're working on it to be a Deus Ex trilogy and all of that stuff, but it's not as big of a global adventure as the other Deus Ex games have been. This is very much set in Prague, which is also not a city you really expect to see on. But the trade-off for that is that it's an incredibly well-designed hub world.
That's good.
Yeah.
I've heard it's had a very abrupt ending.
Yes, it ends pretty abruptly. Like, it's just like, oh, I guess it's over now.
And it's just sort of like, not really about anything? I think one of the criticisms I've seen from it, like, it does the Bioshock Infinite thing, where it's just like, it acknowledges that issues exist, but it doesn't actually do any commentary on any of them.
There's some commentary there, but I do think it's a little blunt with how it's, like the whole augmented thing is racist and all of racism and all of that. It's a little muddled with its messaging, and I think a large part of that is also the marketing just hasn't really, it's just been kind of a bit of a mess with that game, but
marketing being a mess for a AAA video game? Perish the thought. This is my surprised face.
But still, I had a lot of fun with it. It's good to have a very good stealth game again, because it's been a while.
That's
and
true.
Just there's so many different ways to go through that game and just play it, and it makes me very excited for whatever the sequel is going to be. So that's definitely a big recommendation. Like, did you play any of the Deus Ex games, or?
Yeah, I've played a bunch of Human Revolution, but I sort of got stuck because I accidentally made the police station angry, and then they wouldn't stop chasing me throughout the entire city, and I didn't want to kill any of them.
Whoops.
Yeah, so...
Didn't you have any save before that, or?
Nope.
Oh, okay, that sucks.
Yup. So, I haven't played that game in very long.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years, but besides that, I've been playing Fallout 4 Nuka World. It's nice design. It's very nicely designed. Like, I like the amusement park aesthetic of it, but it's very much meant for people who, like, Fallout 4 didn't give you much of an opportunity to be an evil bastard throughout the entire. And this makes you king of a lot of raiders. Like, you can even raid your own settlements and all of that stuff.
Okay.
But I don't know, like, I very much played the game as a goody two-shoes, so then it just kind of like, At some point you kind of feel, like, yeah, maybe this wasn't meant for me, and it's very paper thin in terms of narrative. Like, I can appreciate a lot of the design aspects of it, like, and there are some characters that return that are really cool, like from previous Fallout games.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, but for the rest, it's just kind of like, not, like, Fallout 4's DLC has been a bit of disappointment for me besides Far Harbor. Like, a lot of it is tied to the settlements, which I just did not get into.
Yeah, I heard those were very mixed. Like, some people were super into it, and some people didn't care at all. And
I'm in the latter camp. I just didn't care for it. And so, yeah, that does... I'm glad that I bought the season pass for $30 before it rose to $60.
That's ridiculous.
I know. So I avoided that death trap, but
it's only slightly less ridiculous than the like, it's weird Because remember the $50 season pass for
Arkham Knight?
Battlefront?
Okay, Battlefront, yeah.
Or it's just like, this is a multiplayer-only game, and it's got a $50 season pass.
Yeah.
With, like, maps and stuff in it. That's just shameless.
It is. But EA has always been very shameless with its season pass. And I bought the season pass for Fallout 4 largely because I knew Bethesda had a good track record when it came to DLC, so it's kind of disappointing to see that just never really coming to fruition here.
I think the only season pass I've ever bought is for Borderlands 2, after all the DLCs had already came out.
Yeah, then it's a good way to just get everything in one bundle.
For cheaper than buying them all individually.
Exactly. But, and besides that, I'm right now playing Pokemon Y. Because
Really?
I got that for cheap, secondhand. And I'm doing a Wonderlock on it.
Oh, right, you've been talking about that on Twitter.
Yeah, I've been talking a bit about it. I've just recently beat the second gym, but I also did a Wonderlock of Alpha Sapphire, and that was a lot of fun. So I thought, yeah, you know what? Let's do it again and see how this goes.
I've never been super into Nuzlocks and stuff.
Yeah, I can understand. Like, I definitely like Wonderlocks better than Nuzlocks, but it's a fun experiment. Like right now, my team consists of because I just recently beat the second gym, but because there's quite a difficulty spike at some point in Pokemon Y, like between the first and the second gym.
Really? I never struggled in that game at all.
No, but there was at some point where I was like, stuff is getting much higher leveled. It's much more tougher. So maybe because at one point I had a Staravia that unfortunately died. So that's during a Sky battle, which was a thing.
Ooh, yeah. Sky battles are cool.
Yeah, it's not really it's just like, okay, just flying Pokemon only. So okay, sure. But
it's something a little bit different, and just the actual like environment and the backgrounds look really cool. So
yeah, I mean, let's see. My team currently is Pro. Skarmory is my replacement for Staravia.
Skarmory.
Ampharos.
Yo.
And let me think. What is it? Golem? I just got a Golem from Wonder Trade.
Nice.
Yeah, that was really surprising. Also, that was a level that would obey me. It was like level. Yeah, because that's also a big issue with Wonderlock. Like at some point, you reach a level where they just don't obey you anymore.
That's true. Yeah.
What else? Like two more. Like I had a Linoon, but I quickly abandoned that one. But
boo. Linoons can be useful if they have pickup.
Yeah, this one did have pickup, but it's just not a very tough Pokemon to really have with you. They usually turn into my HM slaves.
My Linoon is an HM Pokemon in Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah. I can't think of the other two right now. We'll get it, but that's pretty fun and it's just fun to just go through a Pokemon game before Sun and Moon come out, which is looking interesting. I'm not spoiling anything. Like I know that the internet has spoiled already a lot for you. I think.
Yeah. Because people don't tag their fucking spoilers on Tumblr or Twitter.
But it's looking interesting, that one. Like I think X and Y might be the last new Pokemon that follow the same formula. But we're gonna see how that's going. But that's about it. What I've been playing the last couple months. I've been trying. I still need to get the new Ace Attorney. I haven't gotten that one yet.
Yeah, me too.
It's just like, but
so many games.
Too many games, indeed, and there's even more coming up, as we'll talk about soon enough. But before we do that, do you want to get into some newsy news?
Oh yeah, because things happened. Things have definitely happened. We're not going to cover everything since last time because we'd be here all day. But
we'd be here all day.
Some things happened just in the last week or so.
Yeah, but let's see. We've got Tokyo Game Show.
Oh, that's a lot.
The Witcher, Sony, and Digital Homicide.
Let's talk about The Witcher first, because we were sort of talking about that already.
It's got a postage stamp in Poland. It's an own official postage stamp.
Yeah, and to paraphrase PC Gamer, weirdly enough, it doesn't have bathing naked Geralt on it.
No, it's just the cover version of Geralt, the one you have on The Witcher 3, which is, disappointing, but otherwise, yeah, it's a great thing to legitimize, a character like that. And I mean, like, the Witcher series it started as a series of books, obviously, but then, they really started to get popular with the games. I mean, the Prime Minister gave Witcher 2 to Obama back in the day. That says something about how proud they are of that franchise.
Rightfully so, in my opinion.
Yes. It's an amazing series, and Witcher 3 is really, really good, so
yeah.
Good on you, CD Projekt Red. Now keep working on Cyberpunk.
Please, I need it.
I really want Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
But that ain't out till it's done. Okay, so what else do you want?
Sony, because that's the big one.
Okay, Sony, like, this just is a whole bunch of stuff that is, not necessarily tied to one another, but still in a way that it shows that Sony did not have a particularly great week.
No, which is weird, because they've been, like, on the ball since the PS4 launched. Like, I mean,
since the announcement of the PS4, pretty much, they've been nailing it. They've shown why they ruled this generation.
I think really the only major slip up they had was when just the shortages of actual consoles when they launched.
Oh yeah, that was a fun time. But yeah, for the rest, like, we'll start up with the announcement, the whole PlayStation conference in New York, where they showed off the PS4 Slim, that we did not know about, obviously.
Except we totally did.
And then they talked about, like, there was a lot of talk about PlayStation Neo at the time, like, when, because,
that
Xbox
was what turned into the Pro, right?
Yes, because there was a lot of talk of, basically, this is the last sort of major console generation where we just have one console and that's it. And now it's just kind of like, okay, we'll make slow jumps each time and all of that. And then, obviously Xbox announced the Scorpio back at E3, and that was this, like, from what they showed of the specs, like, this going to be this quite a powerhouse in terms of power. And then, people expected sort of the same from PlayStation Neo. And then they announced the PS4 Pro. There was a lot of talk about 4K television and HDR and all of that stuff and all. It made it all really, really boring. And, when you're seeing it on a stream, like a Twitch stream with a max 720p, you just barely see the difference between what they were showing and what they're showing.
And really, it's only any useful. It's only any use for you if you have a 4K screen monitor TV, whatever. Which I don't, so I don't care. And if Sony thinks I'm gonna do anything with the PS4 that I have, the one that has PT on it, then they've got another thing coming.
Yeah, it's just been you could get excited about the idea of a PlayStation Neo, but during the announcement, they just pretty much deflated all of that excitement and then they said some weird stuff, like, Andrew House, who I think runs PlayStation now, I'm not sure what his exact role is, but he said in an interview with, I think, Eurogamer, where he said, we noticed that there's a trend that in the next years after a console generation, people tend to move. There's a segment of gamers that move to the PC because they want the highest end experience.
Yup.
And that's who we're competing with. And just like...
As if.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well, because, the PS4 Pro, when you look at it from in the hood, yeah, it looks like it's better in terms of quality, what it can do, but not a huge amount. And certainly, it's much more comparable to the Xbox One S than what Scorpio is going to be. And just kind of okay, I'm not sure what... this seems like a very bad idea right now with this PS4 Pro. How it's just diluting the market and how it's just going to confuse people who don't know the difference. It is more powerful than the PS4, but not by a terrible amount, and it doesn't make the games look that much better. They showed us some Mass Effect Andromeda gameplay, finally. Showed us some Horizon, and it looks nice, but there's not enough for me to go say, okay, I'll pay $400 to get another PS4, to get this PS4 Pro.
Yeah, no, that's just spending $400 on a slightly better PS4. Just like, no, thank you.
I am so much more tempted to pay $300 for the PS4 Slim that they announced.
Even then, though, I mean, I have a PS4. I basically never had any issues with it, so I'm not even going to bother.
No, that's it. In that exact same camp. I don't need to bother, and I'm extremely curious who does care, and I think that if they knew what Scorpio was going to actually be like, they thought, well, shit, this needs to go back. But at that point, it was already too late.
Mm.
So here we are. But we're not done with Sony.
Oh, they had a hell of a time.
Okay, No Man's... They talked a bit about No Man's Sky. We have not talked about No Man's Sky, as we mentioned.
There's too much to cover from No Man's Sky now.
But they basically talked about, like, how Shuei Yoshida talked that they could have probably marketed it better.
No.
Because, in a way, No Man's Sky was marketed very well in that people bought into the hype and got it. But, obviously, since then, there's been a bit of a fallout.
Yeah. Maybe they shouldn't have given Sean Murray free reign to say whatever the hell he wanted.
Yeah. It's been rough for No Man's Sky, and I feel bad for Hello Games, obviously a very small team that, flew too close to the sun and burned its wings, but yeah, it was hard not to buy into that hype, and then, now it's come to bite them in the ass.
Oh, real hard.
And it's kind of, disappointing just how silent Hello Games themselves have been about the whole situation.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
But hopefully, they know they're actually actively working on, doing all the stuff that they need to help to make fans somewhat happy. Because right now it's just, it's not been the be-all, end-all game that people were hoping for. And probably, we are foolish to think that possibly could have been with that smaller team. Then there was The Last Guardian, which
got delayed again. Surprise, surprise.
Which at this point, is kind of... It's been so long. Like, when was that game announced? When was... Like, Project Troika was what it was originally called, but,
It was announced 1,000,000 years ago.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was, but it's, it skipped the whole PS3 the whole PS3 life cycle. And now it's just, okay, it's finally coming. They had a release date at E3, and then, and now
been in development since 2007.
Yeah, so almost an entire decade.
And it was announced in 2009.
Yeah, but it's been in development for a decade. You could have just pushed it a little more than you would have that decade mark. But, yeah, this is, and then there's been some stuff coming over at Tokyo Game Show, which, doesn't sound particularly great.
Yeah, no. I forget who, but a reporter got like half an hour...
That was from Polygon.
Polygon, right. Got about half an hour playtime with it. It plays like a PS2 game, which is not a good thing in this day and age.
Yeah, that got me worried, and I'm going to keep my expectations in check with The Last Guardian. Like, I was super excited for it when it was originally announced, like many people were, because, new Team Ico game and all of that, but,
I'm a huge fan of Shadow of the Colossus. Never actually played Ico, because I can't find an affordable copy of it. But, man, I had my hopes up there for a while. Now I'm being, as with most things in the gaming industry, cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, let's keep cautiously optimistic and hope for the best that they do make a great game. But and finally, it all ended with Bethesda.
Oh, Bethesda! Why would you even?
Bethesda.
It wasn't Bethesda's fault.
It's not Bethesda's fault because apparently they had everything set up, everything was ready to go, and Sony was just like, "Yeah, no, we don't want this."
We're referring to mods. We should probably mention.
Yeah, I was about to mention. Console mods are not coming to the PS4 version of Fallout 4.
Because Bethesda said no. Because Sony said no, thank you. That's if you're not going to be doing it in the system that we want you to, then you're just not getting mods at all.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see like how Bethesda's announcement of this, that this is not unfortunately not happening, just completely throws Sony under the bus. Like, this is not our fault. This is their fault. We tried our very best to make this work, and they just don't want to. They just don't want to give us the opportunity. Anyway, there's always the caveat, like, just how much happened behind the scenes. But I can imagine Bethesda obviously being disappointed that this is the case.
Oh, that and everyone that bought the game on PS4, assuming that mods would be coming to it.
I mean, yeah, I own Fallout 4 on the PS4, and now I have what is essentially the objectively inferior version, because the Xbox One has mods, and the PC obviously has mods.
Well, I mean, it was always going to be objectively inferior than the PC version.
Well, you know what I mean. It's sort of that, there's always that equal pickings with all of it, but now it's definitely not the best version. It's the weakest version. And I'm just kind of like, okay, that's kind of disappointing. And obviously a lot of fans of Fallout 4 are pissed about this, that own it on PS4.
Understandably.
So it's now just kind of like, okay, it's been not a particularly good week for Sony.
No.
And,
everything happened in such rapid succession, too.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, they're not gonna lose the race to Microsoft. There's way too much of a lead there, but, right now, the ball is in Microsoft's court. They are doing everything right.
Which is weird, because that's not like them.
Indeed. Well, I think that's enough Sony bashing for now. So, what do you want to do next?
Great Ace Attorney 2?
We'll just do a bit of a rundown of stuff that is interesting from Tokyo Game Show. So,
oh, that was from TGS?
Yeah, TGS. Like, there's a whole bunch of TGS.
Oh, okay, you listed it as a separate thing, so.
Yeah, that was part of it, but, Great Ace Attorney 2 got announced, and if you don't know, like, Great Ace Attorney was essentially like a spin-off or a prequel that takes place, like, during the Sherlock Holmes era, so like 1890 and all of that stuff. And now that's getting a sequel that we probably won't get, because not even Great Ace Attorney got localized. So there's no chance in hell that this will get localized.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'm not entirely surprised, because they are fundamentally I think these especially require a deeper understanding of Japanese culture that not everyone in the West may necessarily have.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case as to why it's not, why they're not doing it, and that it's too much hard. Like, I mean, there's some stuff in the original Ace Attorney games which, really stretch the fact that this is supposed to be in the United States.
Eat your burgers, Apollo. Eat your burgers.
It's not like a Miles Edgeworth 2 situation where it didn't get released in the West because of sales and all of that stuff. Yeah. But it's disappointing. Otherwise, there's a new Digimon game, which originally came on the Vita, that's coming to PS4 in the West. Which is always, I'm a big Digimon fan, so that's exciting for me. Mm-hmm. There's Earth Defense Force 5 coming for you.
Choo choo, get on the hype train. I really enjoyed Earth Defense Force 4, so I'm glad there's another one coming.
Yep, and there's also, let me quickly check. Kojima spoke about the Death Stranding a bit. It's coming before Tokyo 2020. So, hooray, we won't have to wait 4 years. Or 3.5. But, yeah, it's still a bit of a wait. And, not surprising, he's only just recently left Konami. I was shocked we even got to see anything at E3 2016 in the first place, so, good on him. Mm-hmm. Some Monster Hunter stuff. They showed some stuff for Monster Hunter Stories, and we're getting a Monster Hunter movie.
Which is super strange, because only one of them actually had anything resembling a plot.
But I mean, kill giant monsters. What's all over that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's TGS. There's not a huge amount of stuff there, but enough to really sink our teeth into it. But do you want to get to a fun part?
Oh yes, I've been saving this story for last.
Do you want to talk about Digital Homicide?
I want to talk about Digital Homicide so bad.
Okay, tell us exactly what happened.
On the night before Christmas. Not a okay. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So, if you don't know Digital Homicide by now, first of all, where have you been? Second of all, let me tell you a tale. Digital Homicide are essentially scam artists who have been conning Steam users into buying their garbage for literal years now. Perhaps
Since 2014.
Yeah. So yeah, about 2 years.
Yeah.
They've released approximately 10 bazillion games onto Steam, all of which are terrible and have zero effort put into them. And recently, they got kicked off of Steam because they threatened to sue about 100 Steam users.
Yeah, it was really weird because obviously, like, they're best known for their feud with Jim Sterling. That is their.
Dude,
like,
you couldn't write this better. It's just seeing this. I mean, I feel bad for Jim because he's gotten some genuinely like frightening stuff coming from their end. Like he's gotten legitimate threats and stuff. But
and they're he's in the process of being sued by them as well.
They don't really have much of a claim though. But man, the breakdown of these two brothers who just make the worst games. Like I enjoy seeing terrible games, like truly awful games.
Best of Steam Greenlight, the Jim Pressions videos.
Watch and play from Loading Ready Run. Because it's a good reminder of, like, sure, we can say games like Bioshock Infinite are bad, which Bioshock Infinite is very flawed, but
Bioshock Infinite is great. I'll stick by that game.
At least it works. Like, at least everything functions properly. And there's so many games where you can't take that for granted. And I think that's amazing in, like, a weird, like, sociological, I want to study the people who make these games kind of way.
Yeah.
Like, what is going through your mind when you put this objectively terrible piece of garbage up for sale?
I mean, I just remember Jim Sterling and one of the Romine brothers did an interview together, and it was one of the cringiest 1.5 hours of my life.
I didn't listen to it because it sounded like hot garbage.
It was incredible. But besides that, they've been suing Steam users largely because of negative reviews on their games.
Shockingly.
And
negative
then Valve
reviews come to games that are shit.
And then Valve was just like, nope, we don't want to deal with this anymore. Like, because they asked for, the real life names of people called Demon Sword and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But do you want to know the best thing?
Ooh, tell me the best thing.
They're seeking legal action against Valve.
Spoilers! They're not gonna win.
Yeah, this is...
Pack it in, guys. You lost.
Yeah.
Just stop. You lost.
You have destroyed your
day,
entire
sir.
games company. Just, stop.
You get nothing. Go away. Good day, sir.
It's been an interesting journey to see, and I can only imagine how Jim Sterling feels about the whole thing.
I don't imagine he'll be talking about it until he stops being sued by them.
I mean, they have no case against him, or at least it certainly doesn't seem that way, but here we are, and it's going to be fun.
Oh, the ride never ends.
Yeah, the ride never ends But that's about it in terms of news. What do you say we talk a bit about games that are coming out soon enough?
I mean, we sort of missed our window of, like, the really big ones recently, but I'm looking at our list here, and we still got, 9 of them?
Yeah, we still got a bunch of interesting games to talk about, but yeah, we've missed stuff like the Bioshock Collection, the Dead Rising Triple Pack, Pac-Man Championship Edition 2,
the new Ace Attorney,
and just a whole bunch of stuff from August and September, but that doesn't matter. Because we still have, indeed, a bunch of cool stuff. Batman Episode 2.
I didn't know Episode 1 was out already.
Episode 1 was out in August, I believe. Let me check. August 2nd. And I mean, yeah, I haven't played it yet, but, I'm waiting for it to go and, till all the episodes are out. That's generally how I roll with Telltale games.
I
or episodic gaming in general.
really have to like start playing my Telltale games. Like I have like The Walking Dead, I have The Wolf Among Us, I have Tales
Play
from
that
the
one.
Borderlands. I also have Life is Strange that I still haven't gotten around to, which isn't Telltale, I know, but it is episodic, so I do count it under that.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, and then there's not much to say considering we haven't played at both episodes. So
Like I said, I didn't even know the first one was already out.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So that's Dear Esther is getting a console edition.
Okay, I don't care.
Okay, yeah. If you don't know what Dear Esther is, it's like the term walking simulator.
That
and
game
this
started it.
Yeah, that game pretty much started the whole thing. It's kind of boring, in my opinion.
That formula, it's possible to do that formula well. My two main examples for that are the Stanley Parable and Gone Home.
Yeah.
I didn't like Dear Esther all that much, and Everybody's Gone to the Rapture looks really boring.
Yeah.
Heck, they even managed to make an expansion or a sequel to Amnesia.
Yeah, sequel.
That
Machine for Pigs.
Was, like, not nearly as good as the original.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Not picking that up, probably.
No.
Also not picking up NBA 2K17, but obviously there's always a market for that.
I know a guy who's really excited for it. Apparently, with day one patch, it's like a 60 gigabyte download.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
That's a big-ass game. It better have the Toon Squad in it, otherwise no buy. And the Monstars. But otherwise... Like, I do remember, like, one of the NBA 2K games that, like, a story mode, like, sort of following the career of Michael Jordan.
I know the new one has a story mode as well, I think.
Did it? Does it?
It's either the new NBA or the new FIFA. Has a story
Okay, yeah,
mode.
a storyline is also present featuring several actors, such as Michael B. Jordan. Okay. So the guy who plays Adonis Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, right? It's, like, unexpected, but it's cool. FIFA 17, that's the one I was thinking of. FIFA 17 has a story mode.
Yeah, like, let's just immediately go into that one then as well, because it, two sports. FIFA 17, it's probably going to be one of the biggest games of the year. So,
Is it? I'll take your word for it.
I mean, FIFA is so incredibly huge every single time, and it's...
Yeah, but at least the people I listen to about football games generally agree that PES is better. So.
PES is generally considered... It's recently gotten back to being better again, because there was a while when PES was garbage.
Yeah, but the last two PES games seem to have been just way better, so...
Okay. I haven't played PES in a while, but either way, I've played the FIFA 17 demo, because I picked up FIFA 15 2 years ago, and then I didn't bother with FIFA 16, and now I'm going back to FIFA 17. I don't like to how do you say that?
Overindulge
in these football games, especially, they come once a year, and it's sometimes just like, okay, why do I bother? This time, what makes me bother is, the story mode.
Yeah. It's
Mr.
weird.
Alex Hunter. Yeah, it's, you play as a kid, you get to play a little bit of the demo, in the demo, you are, a young, football player that's, starting out in the big leagues, starting out at Manchester United and all of that stuff, and then, get to see, you get to task, try to get a 7, try to score a goal and all that stuff, and, get to see how your career progresses through all of that.
It sounds pretty interesting. It's very, I mean, I've seen that concept before in WWE games. They have a My Career mode where you start off in the developmental division and slowly work your way up to the main roster, going after titles and stuff. So it's not exactly new, but I don't know if that's ever been done in a quote-unquote real, in air quotes, sports game. So
Yeah, but I mean, there's always been like career modes in FIFA in that you create a game, you create a character, and then go and do your thing, or a manager and all that stuff. But it's been like it hasn't been this complex or like have an actual a story attached to it. And I do wonder sort of how flexible it is. Like I do know that if you can play consistently bad, you get loaned out to another club or something like that, or they sign another player, and then there's that all that stuff going on. And there's a Mass Effect style dialogue system,
Ugh.
which is all kinds of fun.
Which is the worst kind of dialogue system.
No, but I mean, I'm not sure how much it affects anything. It basically just shows like sort of how it's not necessarily good or evil, but sort of like how if you play cool, balanced, or fiery.
Punched Alex Ferguson in the face.
Alex Ferguson hasn't been coached for a while.
I don't care. That was just the first name I could think of.
Okay. But, yeah, so I'm unironically looking forward to that, to sort of see and experience that. And just, I always have friends who play it as well, so it's pretty much a big online multiplayer type of game for me.
It sounds cool. I mean, I'm not into it, but if you are, it sounds cool.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Also coming out, Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, which is a sequel to Shin Megami Tensei 4, which, when it was announced, I thought it was an expansion. Like, sort of a Pokemon Emerald type of deal, where it's sort of like an improved version of the original. Not so much. It's actually like a full-blown sequel.
Yeah, I didn't really understand what the Wikipedia page said. I think it takes place 25 years before Shin Megami Tensei 4, but it's still in the same world. It's a full-blown game, which is interesting and cool.
Yeah. And I mean, it being an Atlas game, you probably have to wait an eternity before it comes out here.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Shin Megami Tensei 4 took 1.5 years to come out in Europe, and then it was download only and everything.
Yup.
It was a bit of a shit show. But, that's going to be interesting. The Shin Megami Tensei, it's been so over, what's that word? It's been over, it's been shown over by Persona, obviously.
Overshadowed,
that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, it's coming out September 20th. So in 2 days in North America, and Q4 of 2016 in Europe.
Whatever that may be.
Yeah.
Going back, Firewatch is coming to Xbox One. So if you like good walking simulators, that might be just for you.
Yeah. I don't have it, but I want it, and I'm not gonna get an Xbox One because I don't have one.
But if you have an Xbox One and don't have a PC to run it or a PS4, now you can get that game. Forza Horizon 3.
Which people are apparently looking forward to.
Forza games are always, fun for a lot of people.
But Burnout Paradise still exists, so...
I'm more of a Burnout 3 type of guy, but I mean, yeah, Forza Horizon 3, it's big open world, takes place in the Outback, and that's about all I can really say about it, because I don't play these games.
No, me neither.
Okay. XCOM. Speaking of other games that are coming to consoles, XCOM 2 is moving from the PC to PS4 and Xbox One.
Which is fair. The control scheme, the first one came to consoles, the control scheme and the type of game it is does work for a console. And I've heard it was really good. Yeah. So, good for console players.
I really liked Enemy Unknown, so I'm actually looking forward to playing XCOM 2 on the PS4. I just don't know when I'm going to get it, but I'm going to get it eventually.
Did you ever play Enemy Within?
I did not. At least, I think I didn't.
It was an expansion and stuff.
Yeah, I think I may have. I don't remember. But I did really like Enemy Unknown, so I do like this franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And then to a franchise that I have mixed feelings about. Sonic Boom, Fire and Ice.
I mean, it's gonna be shit, right? We all know this?
I remember, I played the Sonic Boom demo, the 3DS demo back in First Look.
Yeah, it was, mediocre enough to be unremarkable.
Yeah.
So, who cares?
not a lot, like, it's funny that this is the only Sonic game that is coming out this year. Like, obviously they had their, the 25 years of Sonic and all of that,
Heading the stage for a hero.
Yeah, that was interesting. But, I mean, the Sonic Mania came out of that and all that jazz. But, what I've heard is that Sonic Boom Fire and Ice actually does improve a lot on, what they did in the previous game.
My god, they're learning.
Yeah, but, I don't care.
No, it's
I'm
Sonic. Sonic has
Yeah.
pretty much always been bad.
Yeah.
Fight me, scrubs.
I disagree because this, but
I mean, you also like Super Mario 64, so I already very badly mistrust your opinions on old games. Fight me.
I am going to stay calm and accept that your opinion is horribly wrong.
Fight me. Literally fight me. Fight me IRL. Come at me, Scrublord. I am ripped.
Okay, fair enough, but I don't have time for that right now. But yeah, like those are all the games. Like, what stands out to you of all the games that are coming out? Like for me, it's obviously FIFA 17.
None of them, honestly. I'm just
nothing that you would say. I have $60 to spend money on. I might as well get something.
No. I just bought a new T-shirt online, and I'm waiting for my pre-order of WWE 2K17 to arrive, which is going to be on October 11th, vaguely, I think. So I am patiently waiting. I have more than enough games to keep me occupied until then.
Okay, yeah, you still got Witcher 3, you've got Dragon Age and all that stuff, so,
I mean, like, if I had to pick one, I guess it would be like, no, honestly, I can't make that decision. It's just like, I was gonna say Firewatch and Xbox One, but I physically cannot play that game. I'd get it on PC, I guess, but it's already on PC, so who cares?
Yeah, okay, that's all well and good. So, yeah, we don't have any questions. Like, do you have any, like, I may have something to ask, like, sort of to have a sort of a conversation, but, do you want to do that, or do you just want to wrap up?
Let's just wrap up. We've been going for like an hour.
Yeah, okay, sounds about right. It's, been a while. Has anything changed in terms of where people can contact you and find you and everything?
Well, contact information is still the same, but I am working with, Good Games Writing now. Like, that's actually happening now. If you go to www.orbital.com, that's ORBYTL, you can see like all the cool stuff that I recommend. I write a little blurb about what it's about. I'm trying to like find really cool, interesting topics. I found one from Paste magazine the other day about hatred and Postal and like the weird sort of hypocrisy of its fan base, of their fan bases. It's just like, look, we're so transgressive. Also, I love this game, but I haven't actually played it or finished it at all. It's by actually it was by H Bomber Guy from YouTube, who you may remember as the guy who did what's it called? A Measured Response to the Sarkeesian Effect, Novelty Toy Skulls.
I don't know who that is, but okay, if it's good,
He's very funny.
then okay.
And it's a good read. It's very entertaining as well. He really brings his own comedic voice to the piece. Check it out; it's great.
Alrighty. As always, you can find me on G1 Features at G1 Features on screwtech.com or Rooster Teeth or whatever you like. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheMadHero, and yeah, that's basically about it.
Yes.
I'll go back. I think I'll go back to my Wonderlock shenanigans, and hey, it's good to be back. We hope to have a more consistent schedule next time.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Yes.
Watch.
Okay.
I'm gonna end up getting a job, and then we're not gonna be able to record for like the next 3 weeks.
We're gonna find out soon enough. But until then, here's hoping, and hopefully, see you soon.